From Blue Hand Luke to Saxoclaus, Luke McNamee has been bringing a smile to the faces of all ages for many, many years. We are blessed to have Luke as a part of our music scene, and we are honored to include Luke McNamee in the 2025 Listen Up Awards Hero Class.
I played clarinet. I started in 7th grade, and I sort of liked the clarinet, but it didn't grab me. I played it, and it didn't really grab me. And I gave it up after a year or so, but I always wanted to play the saxophone. And like they still do today, they say, no, you can't start on the saxophone. You got to play clarinet first. And so after that, there was a few years passed. I didn't do anything musical. And all of a sudden, I said, I want to play the saxophone. And I think it was because I heard John Coltrane play. And that was what did it for me. And I heard A Love Supreme and some of his stuff, and I just said, I want to do this. The most rewarding part of what I do is seeing people's reaction. And I'm lucky that most of my playing is done close in with people, whether it's with Saxoclaus out on a street and having little kids all around me looking at me. Sometimes I'm playing for kids who have never heard live music before. And being close to them and feeling that just joy and like, what is this thing? And here's this Santa Claus and he plays the saxophone, and you see the joy on their face. And then the other thing that gives me great joy is playing for the senior community, which is what I do mostly now is play in senior homes, and seeing their joy and hearing, their reaction to it, and knowing that I might be playing for people who can't really remember if their spouse is alive, and yet they're singing every word to every song that I'm playing. There's a real joy in that. Yeah, it really is. I was telling the story about, and this has happened more than once, this has happened several times, where parents will come up and get their kids who are maybe teenagers now and kind of reluctant to have their picture taken with Santa Claus, and they get them all together and the parents are saying, come on, one more time, kids. And then after the picture's taken, I hear the story of there's 15 years of pictures of me on their wall. It's like, wow, that's really something. You moved somebody. You're part of somebody's life. It's really cool. I'm really blessed to be in a lot of people's memory banks, either on their pictures on their wall or, like you say, memories. And I'm the first live musical experience, probably for a lot of people. And kids come up to me and they thank me because they play saxophone in high school. And the reason that they do is because 5 years ago they saw me at a stroll somewhere playing, and they said, I want to play the saxophone like Santa Claus does. And they're saxophone players today. That's heavy stuff to me. And usually benefits and things like that, like we're doing Sunday. And that brings me to today, where today I'm playing a lot of gigs, more than I've ever done before, mostly in nursing homes. So people don't really even think I'm playing anymore. I'm actually playing more than I ever was. And what I do is dress up in different costumes. On the success of Saxoclaus, I said, that's a good thing, but there should be more coming. And so started Uncle Sam, and next week I'm going to be a leprechaun. And I really, the whole nursing home thing started, that's a a very significant part of it because I met my wife Kimberly in 2007, and she is a nurse. She's an RN, and she works in nursing homes. And at the time, she was working at a nursing home in Saratoga. And we had just met, and it was Christmas season, and she saw me running out, going to all these gigs. She said, "Why don't you come by? I'm working tonight. Why don't you come by my facility?" She worked in a place that had 44 beds on a unit. She said, "Just walk around and see what's there. See how you like it. The people will love you." And so we walked in there that day, and it was just magical. I said, "This is really cool." It wasn't what I expected. And the thing that made it cool was just the people's reaction and how they were talking about me. She'd go in there the next day and, weeks later, and people were still talking about it. And a lot of them didn't have great memories and a great memory capacity, and they were still talking about me. And she said, there's a lot of places like this around. And so I started making calls and kind of developed a little circuit for myself out of nursing homes, assisted livings, independent livings. And I really have her to thank for that, because she was really the one who inspired me to do that. You play music for fun. Professional musicians play music to make money, but to me, the most important thing is what you just said, the meaningfulness of it, how it affects people. They put your picture up on the wall with kids. They remember you when they can't remember, their own family members. They remember words of songs. That it means something to them. These songs, they've lived with it, means something. And the most important thing is the meaningfulness of it all.